What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's Top 10 Tuesday, where today we're going to cover the top 10 starting your garden videos. I know we're all getting antsy. We're really excited to start our gardens this spring. And just today, we had some freezing rain outside, so there goes the nice weather here. But while we're waiting and ready to plan for our garden this year, let's take a look at some videos and some channels that are definitely worth looking into to help you get started or move forward in your gardening journey. A couple channels I want to start with before getting to the top 10 list. These are some newer channels on YouTube that I definitely think you should check out. One of the channels is Nature's Always Right. Stephen Cornett is an urban market gardener. He's new to YouTube and looks like he's got some really good stuff going on. Definitely want you to go check out his channel. And one of our viewers said that he's got some lush eyebrows, which are representative of his lush garden. Love the comment. The next channel is a good friend of ours, Eric over at The More You Grow. You might have seen him on our channel when we went down to the meetup in Texas. I think it was last November. He just came out with a video this week called the top 10 early season crops to plant and how to plant them. Definitely think you should go check out that video. Okay, now let's get started with the top 10 garden starting videos. And we're gonna go in an order of 10 videos that make the most sense for you starting your garden, from where to plant, how to plant, what to plant, and what to do afterwards. So we're gonna look through 10 different videos that cover 10 very different topics. So let's get started.
I often think about what advice I'd have for a friend starting their first vegetable garden. In particular, what if my friend is very busy, doesn't want to spend a lot of money on the garden, has a relatively small yard, but still wants to produce plenty of fresh produce for their family. This will be the focus of my new beginning gardening series. Today's video will be the first in that series, and I'll focus on things to consider when determining the best location for a vegetable garden.
I'm pretty excited about this channel that somebody nominated called 1 Yard Revolution that's perfect for talking about where to put your garden. Patrick Dolan talks about finding a location and things to think about when you're putting in a new garden. Check out this video, and he's got a ton of other great videos that'll get you moving forward with your garden.
Let's get started with the seed cells. Now there's a couple different things you can buy. A seed cell is basically where you drop the seed and you let it start growing indoors.
Gary with the Rusted Garden has basically started a new weekly or bi-weekly TV series on his channel about the rusted garden, how to get started with gardening, tips and tricks on growing food. And the series he's doing, he starts it off with how to start your seeds indoors. I think it's a great place to start, something we're definitely going to utilize here on our farm to get our seeds going before we can get them planted outdoors.
Asking the question, how do I convert this piece of land into a productive vegetable garden? While some may be fortunate enough to start with a weed-free lawn or a field with deep fertile topsoil, many of us are facing neglected rough sites that are overgrown, uneven, and full of weeds.
Several of you nominated this channel, Red Gardens. I wasn't quite sure about this video at first, and then when I got to the end, I loved this video because he talks about digging lazy garden beds, cool topic, and then he talks about everything that went wrong with it after his first year of doing it, what he would have done differently. And I think there's a lot of good things to take from that. So if you're gonna do this, be sure to watch it till the end, because you're gonna wanna learn from his mistakes and what he would do differently. And if you don't wanna do this form of gardening, he's got a lot of other good videos talking about different ways to garden.
So think about that and when you're ordering your lumber or you're thinking about your setup, is how can you size it to where it's going to have zero waste. You know, you wanna have as least amount of waste as possible, because when you have waste with your boards, then you're just throwing money away.
All right, I wanted to include a raised bed garden build in some capacity on this list. Something about raised gardens. I loved using our raised garden. Wanted to show some other raised gardens, and Off Grid with Doug and Stacy have a very good video of him building another raised bed garden. They've got a ton of them out in their garden. And they've got a lot of other good videos on gardening and their greenhouse and growing food. So if you want to see more than just raised beds, check out their channel. Check out the other gardening videos. But if you're unsure of how to get started with a raised bed, check out this video from Doug.
Initiated, a vegetable garden should seemingly only require about 4 things: dirt, sunshine, seeds, and water. But if you've ever researched gardening online, you've likely discovered that this simple topic will provide no shortage of options or opinions.
This video from Back to Reality goes through a great discussion of the difference between no-till gardens to raised bed gardens, and they wanted to talk about this way that they wanted to start gardening called Hugelkulture. It's a really thorough video, really fun to watch. Great use of permaculture, and they explain how it works and in some really fun demonstrations. Back to reality, check out the channel.
I'm gonna actually move over to the rest of the property. I'm gonna get some of that going. I wanna bring you guys along. We're gonna start a new food forest from scratch, and I'm gonna go week by week to show you guys how I do it. Let's go.
I love this channel that you guys nominated, the gardening channel with James Prigioni. He packs in a ton of information, talks really fast, which I love to see. Tons of info packed into a really short period of time. Keeps my interest and helps me learn a lot in a really short period of time, which is tough to do on YouTube. Food forest videos is such a hot topic right now, something people are looking to get started, and why not? It's food that'll produce for you for years to come with very low input. And James starts with a really easy way, a how-to way of getting started on your food forest.
Now, I would equate a drip irrigation system in the garden to a DVR to cable. DVRs change watching TV forever, and in my opinion, a drip system will change your garden forever.
Once you've got your garden, you know you've got to water it. And Daniel Arms over at the Arms Family Homestead has a great video on how to make a drip irrigation system. I learned a lot from this video, and I think it's a really useful tool. He makes sure to cover the basics. He knows there's going to be issues for everyone based on their knowledge of plumbing equipment, but I think this is a great video to get you started, get you some basic info on putting your drip irrigation system in, and I'm sure you can reach out to Daniel if you have any questions, if yours is having issues.
I am using fabric pots for my potatoes this year exclusively because last year I really appreciated how easy they were to plant, how easy they were to maintain and harvest.
Blake Kirby was one of the first channels I landed on when I started exploring YouTube for chicken videos a couple years ago, and his bread and butter is growing food. He does a lot with raised beds, growing in containers, and fabric pots, like this video about growing potatoes in fabric pots. He's been doing potatoes like this for several years. I included his 2016 version of this video, but each year he's learning a little bit more about it, and I think it's great to access one of these potato videos. I also included a link to his harvest of these potatoes so you can see what they look like when he pulls them out.
Now, I've got the plant secured from the wind, and it'll also has a little bit of something to kind of help it come up these sticks until it gets to the trellis, and at that point I'll be securing it to the trellis.
And speaking of potato growing videos, Hollis and Nancy's Homestead have a ton of great potato growing videos, but I wanted to use them on this list for growing cucumbers vertically. The way they show it, it looks really simple. I'm really excited about trying this technique when we try out some cucumbers.
A lot of times as gardeners, we have, that urge to get out and buy so many seeds. I am one of those people that when I pass up a seed booth, I have to buy something. It's just, there is something ingrained in us that must tie back to our ancient ancestors where they loved hoarding seeds.
This video's about what to do with your seeds, how to store your seeds properly after you plant your garden. Luke from MI Gardener has a ton of good videos on gardening, and you may have just seen us order some seeds from him, so we're really excited to dig in to more of his content. There's your joke for the day. But wait, Jake, where's the Back to Eden videos? I've got you covered. I included a link to Paul Gauchi's Back to Eden organic gardening film. It's a little long, it's about an hour 45 minutes, but it's free on YouTube, so I wanted to include it in case you ever want to immerse yourself in everything about Paul Gauchi and what he stands for on Back to Eden gardening. That's it for this week's Top 10 Tuesday video. Thank you for watching. Let us know how we did down in the comments. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, and if there are other channels that you like to watch about gardening, let us know down in the comments. It'll be a great resource for people to find other channels and content to get started with their garden this year. Thank you for watching, guys. The Top 10 Tuesday playlist and past videos are all down in the description. Be sure to go check those out. And we're gonna move our Top 10 Tuesdays to every other week. So next Tuesday will be the nomination video, and the Tuesday after that will be the next Top 10 list. We'll see you then.